I can clearly remember the vivid image of the brown-skinned man with the outstretched arm that adorned the paperback cover of my cousin's book. His sleeve was rolled into a bunch as he prepared to inject himself with a syringe. Above the illustration was the word Dopefiend. I was probably about 9 or 10 at the time. My cousin was perhaps 16 or 17. She read the book intently as we traveled down the highway, my dad at the wheel and Ma riding shotgun. We were on our way to some summer destination or another, as was my family's custom when school let out and the days became long. My uncle's daughters were frequently recruited to babysit me, particularly when adult activities like a bid whist game were in the plans or when there was the possibility of a visit to Cedar Point or similar amusement park not far away. I contented myself in the back seat with Rosa, tilting over head first onto her shoulder as the steady motion of the vehicle guided me toward sleep. I probably drooled on her arm. It wasn't until maybe 10 years later when I once again encountered the book that had so engrossed my cousin. A copy of Dopefiend somehow wound up on the shelf of my parents' library. Remembering Rosa's attentiveness, I picked up the book and flipped through its pages. It didn't take long for me to understand how easily a reader could get lost in the imagery. I found myself taking in the striking descriptions and compelling dialogue as if the characters were acting out scenarios in front of me. Set in the 1970s, Dopefiend tells the story of Porky, a morbidly obese loser who draws his self-esteem and popularity from drug connections. Things run in favor of the social outcast as he participates in the urban dope game. Porky becomes a neighborhood kingpin with money, respect, and attention from young ladies who would otherwise ignore him. So great is his dominion among the addicts, as a matter of fact, that his female peers perform the most disgusting of sex acts with dogs for his perverse enjoyment in order to win his grace. Having decided that I would be a newspaper reporter specializing in coverage of urban and oppressed people, I appreciated the realism of Dopefiend's account. But I had not learned exactly how real the details of the novel were. They had been taken directly from experiences and observations in the life of Donald Goines. The author had been murdered when I was only 2 years old. He and I shared similarities, but had little in common. We were both writers born in Detroit during the month of December. We both had been raised in two-parent middle-class households, but that's about where it ended. He was the product of the post-Depression era city where men of color still walked a fine line between pride and self-preservation. It was months before his 7th birthday when 36 hours of rioting on Belle Isle Park and in neighboring parts of the city left 34 dead.